Hello everyone, my name is Corps and welcome back to another video. Over the last few days we have gotten 6 new character reveals for DISVENTURE Camp All-Stars, again completely with new designs. If you haven't watched the first video that I made a few days ago, then I'll leave a link to it in the description. It isn't mandatory to watch that video before you watch this video, but if you are interested, then it's there for you to watch, I guess. Just like I did in the previous video, I'll be going in order of how the characters were posted on the Odd Nation Cartoons Instagram. First up on the list of confirmed characters to be returning to All-Stars is Aiden. I was expecting Aiden to return considering how popular he is, and considering James was also returning, it only makes sense to bring Aiden as well. And just like James, Aiden's design is practically the same from how it was in his Season 2 counterpart. There are a few differences of course. For example, his hairstyle isn't as fluffy as it was in Season 2, his shirt is a little bit crinkled at the bottom, and it seems that he has eye bags underneath his eyes, and other than that, he basically looks the same as he did in Season 2. Now, considering Aiden was a fan of the first season of DISVENTURE Camp, I can imagine him being a little bit of a fanboy when interacting with the Season 1 cast. However, story-wise, I have no idea where they would take the direction of Aiden's character. Sure, we could get more plots between him and James, but I think the whole falling in love with James, but then not really trusting James, and then falling in love with James thing again will get really annoying really fast. As much as I did enjoy Aiden in Season 2 of DISVENTURE Camp, he honestly was a little bit one-dimensional, and his character did get a little bit repeating at times, so I am a little skeptical to see where they take this character. Overall though, I'm sure that a lot of the fanbase is really happy to see Aiden return, considering he was a huge fan favourite within the community. Now, the next character to be revealed is the little demon child herself, Fior. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but there's just something about this design that looks really off. When comparing her design to Season 1, she's now wearing a low ponytail. And she's also wearing a yellow sweater, which somewhat resembles her beta design. This design for Fior isn't bad by any means, it's just kinda eh. Now, as to what Fior could be doing this season, I can imagine that her and Alec are still on pretty bitter terms after what happened at the end of Season 1. As to whether her and Gret are still close, we'll just have to see. I can sadly imagine Fior being a pre-merge boot just because everyone is aware of her manipulative nature and wouldn't want to trust her. However, at the same time, I can definitely imagine an alliance between her and Yule being really interesting and really funny. I also have a theory that between the events of Season 1 and Season 2, Fior's parents sent her to a boarding school in order to try and fix her behaviour. There's no exact proof for this, however, her design makes her look a lot more mature and as if she's wearing some sort of uniform. However, this could just be me completely overanalyzing her design, considering she's 3 years older than she was from Season 1, and she's obviously matured within that time. Overall, I am really excited and overall super curious to see the role that Fior will be playing this season. Now next is another character who I 100% knew would most likely be returning, and that is Jake. Jake's design is looking really good in my opinion. Jake is wearing a pink jacket with blue sleeves that somewhat resembles his Season 1 design. He's got 2 pink skulls on each of his sleeves, once again resembling his Season 1 design, and he's wearing his hair in a really cute ponytail. One thing that I have noticed, and I don't know if this is just because of the cropping of the photo, but it looks like that Jake has had a bit of a growth spurt? If so, that's a really simple design change that I actually really love. As for Jake's role this season, I'm not entirely sure. I can imagine him having a plot with Tom, however I'm not exactly sure what direction they would take them. Whether they remain friends or get back together, I'm sure that the story will be good. I can also see Jake getting along really well with Aiden and Lake, and maybe we'll be able to see his mental health improvements throughout this season. Overall, I am really happy that Jake has returned to All-Stars considering he is one of my favorites, and there are a lot of open possibilities as to where they could take his character and story. Now next up is probably the character with one of, if not the biggest redesign of the cast so far, is Rhea. Rhea is looking basically completely different from her Season 2 design. First of all, she's wearing a new pair of sunglasses on top of her head, and she has her hair curled into a ponytail. She's also wearing a really expensive looking brown coat and a pair of red stockings. Around her neck we can see that she's wearing a pearl necklace, and she's also wearing some gold jewelry on her hands. If I had to make a theory, I would assume that Rhea's acting in episode 10 managed to catch the attention of Hollywood. After all, her main reasoning as to joining DISVENTURE Camp was because she wanted to get more exposure and possibly get casted in more movies. Rhea is also another character who I'm unsure of what type of role she will be playing. At the end of season 2, she did genuinely seem remorseful and felt bad for the way that she had acted. However, her promotional art for All Stars also gives her an evil and sassy kinda look. Out of everyone in the cast, I think her making an alliance with Alec would be super interesting. If Odd Nations are planning to go down the path of making Rhea an antagonist once again, she could definitely try to manipulate Alec and try and get him on her side considering his weaker mental state. Overall, Rhea is a character who I did expect to return for this season, and I am really happy that she did. Her design is one of my favorites, and she's looking really good. I can't wait to see the role that she plays. Now this next one is quite quick. Next up on the list is Hunter. Now Hunter basically looks exactly the same as he did from season 2, other than a few grey streaks in his hair and I think maybe his eye shape being a bit different. I am a little bit disappointed to see that he didn't get a cool redesign, but that's okay. And if my theory from the last video was correct, Ellie will most likely be returning as well. As much as I do love Hunter, I honestly don't really know what he's going to do. I can see him sadly being a pre-merge boot. And other than the love triangle plot, I don't really know what else they would do. Despite saying all of this, I am looking forward to seeing Hunter come back. Now last but definitely not least for today, we have Oh my god.
I can't believe what I'm about to say, but this is delicious!
Okay, Ellie's new design has to be my favorite out of everyone so far. Her design is still pretty similar from her season 1 counterpart, however she's got 2 ear piercings, is wearing a slightly different shirt and vest as well as a new skirt. Despite the change being super simple, I love it so much. Now, Ellie as a character this season I think has a lot of potential. Especially after how dirty she played last season, I'd really like to see some character development coming from her. Out of everyone in the cast, I think it would really benefit Ellie as a character if she were to interact with James. After all, James played really dirty within the first half of the season and slowly began to grow as a person. I'd also really love to see her relationship with Gabby grow throughout this season, as I feel like they never really got a proper conclusion in season 1. Also, oh boy, we know that there's definitely going to be some tension between her and Jake. Overall, I think Ellie was a pretty obvious choice to return, but I'm still super happy to see that she will, considering I think she'll spice up the game a lot. And that's all that we have for now. We still have a few more characters being released over the next few days, and I'm super excited to see who else will be returning for All Stars. So far, I am extremely satisfied with the casting for this season. I am really excited to see the season 1 cast interacting with the season 2 cast and all the new friendships and maybe even relationships that will bond between the both of them. If I had to make a prediction as to who I think the remaining 4 characters will be, my personal guesses will be Rosa Maria, Ellie, Nick, and Dan. No, I'm not delusional. My boy will return. He will. Please. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it because it once again was really fun to make. Please go shower Odd Nation cartoons with as much love as possible because they really do deserve it after working so hard this season. Now stay safe, be kind, and have a good night. Bye!